Good evening and welcome to Kingdom Business Talk. I'm your host tonight, Gary Johnson. I know normally you're used to seeing Ricky. He was not available, asked me to fill in. I know you guys have seen me before, Ricky, and I've done several of these before. So tonight is my opportunity to get to interview a good friend of mine, a business owner, entrepreneur, a good man for all of you to know, Rich Wurzbacher. Welcome, Rich.
Hey, thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me on the podcast.
I'm so glad you said yes when I asked you. So we're going to get right into this because I want to talk. Rich has got some interesting information of the things he does. You know, he's very well-rounded. So not only a businessman, a kingdom businessman, entrepreneur. So, Rich, tell us a little bit about you.
Sure. I was born in Maryland and had a good...
Wait, no Ravens fan, though. Let's clarify
Correct.
that. Not a Ravens fan.
Not a Ravens fan.
Okay.
Not a Ravens fan.
All right.
Born in Maryland. Had a great upbringing. Good Christian parents.
Okay.
Did some college. Went into the Air Force when I was 20. Had a very successful career in the Air Force.
Okay.
Mostly in the medical field.
Oh, that's cool.
I was able to... I was honored to be able to serve in the U.S. Air Force Honor Guard for 18 months as a special duty assignment. That was really neat. Got to spend some time up in Anchorage, Alaska at Elmendorf Air Force Base.
Wow.
Great duty up there.
Okay.
And from there, after my military career, I've always been interested in sales, marketing, business development. And so I started up my company called Perfect Your Success.
Okay.
And if you want to check out Perfect Your Success, the website is perfectyoursuccess.com. And
Check it out.
So I've been doing that for a long time, and I really enjoy what I'm doing.
Okay.
It gives me the opportunity. The purpose of the company is to serve businesses and ministries and to help them grow their brand, whether it's a brand new brand from scratch or whether it's a brand that's been around for a long time and needs help.
Needs refreshed.
2.0. So
yes.
we do 9 or 10 different things to help any level of business or ministry in order to grow themselves, to improve their brand, to be polished, superior, and competitive, and better than their competitors. Particularly like, let's say, an electrician. He's got to be able to show he's better than his competitors.
Sure, absolutely.
You know, people get multiple.
Okay. All right, so Baltimore, Maryland, not that far from here.
Right,
but
right.
How did you get from Baltimore to here? I mean, what was the draw? People are going to say, and I don't understand this, I'm not local, I've been here for 21 years, but people are going to say, why would you come to Newcastle? So why did you come to Newcastle?
Fantastic question. So years ago, I met Dr. Mark Kaufman from Jubilee Ministries.
Okay.
And fell in love with the ministry. And so our main purpose in moving here about 2 years ago was Jubilee Ministries and being involved with Dr. Mark Kaufman. And it's been an amazing experience, tremendous growth in the kingdom, in my knowledge, my wife's knowledge. And so we just picked up, sold our house. God made it all happen. And we moved here and super excited to be, in the house of God at Jubilee.
Right.
And be around all the great people there and be involved in some businesses here as well.
Absolutely. Okay. So you heard about Dr. Mark, but how did you hear about him? So I guess go in a little bit more detail as to what brought you. I know you met him or heard about him. How did that happen?
In 2010, I met him for the first time at...
So 14 years ago.
14 years ago.
Okay.
I met him in Dallas-Fort Worth at an International Christian Wealth Builders Foundation meeting.
Okay.
We met very briefly. At that
I
time...
wonder if I was there, Rich. I went to one with him in Dallas at Fort Worth.
Yeah,
anyway, I digress.
Everybody from Jubilee Ministries was there, but we didn't know each other at the time.
Okay.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, I got a call from a friend and said, hey, you got to come up to Jubilee. You got to visit. And we had never visited, although Dr. Kaufman and I had sort of stayed a little bit in connect over the years. So we came up on New Year's Eve of, 5 years ago.
Oh, wow. Okay.
New Year's, we visited, and we walked in, it's home. This is home.
Okay.
So we, over the next few years, kind of planned our transition.
Wow.
And waited for God's perfect timing for that.
Okay.
And so we're here, and we're loving it.
So let's touch on that. So God's perfect timing. So why are you here? Let's talk about that. So we know God opened up the door, made it easy. I know the process when you were selling your house, everything just went really, really well.
Right.
Very, very fluid. So why did God bring you here? What's your purpose? What's your vision? What do you see for Newcastle and for the Wurzbachers?
Yeah, well, number one, to pick up Perfect Your Success and move it here. Number two, to be in Jubilee Ministries.
Okay.
And that has just opened up tremendous doors, lots of clients, and now I'm actually have, through Jubilee, have developed international clients that I'm helping.
Wow. Okay.
In 5 or 6 different countries right now.
Well, that's pretty
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is
so the
pretty
main
cool.
drive was to be part of the church and to come here and serve in every capacity that I can serve in.
That's excellent.
That's why.
Okay. So now let's go to the business. This is Kingdom Business Talk, so let's get into more of the
Sure.
business. So I know you do rebranding, repurposing, refreshing, website design. So let's talk about Rich Wurzbacher's business, what you do. So someone comes to you and are like, my business is kind of slumped off. Maybe I'm not getting the sales. Maybe I'm just not as well known maybe as I thought I was.
Sure.
What do you offer?
So we offer 9 really important functions, from web design, graphic design, copywriting, branding, sales coaching, lead generation tools.
Okay.
And so many of my clients come to me and they're like, I'm not very well known on the internet. I've got a website, but I'm
Right.
not getting any leads, any traction.
Okay.
And so we look at the search engine optimization, the SEO tool, which I've been certified in for about
Search
5 years now.
engine optimization. You can't
SEO.
say that very fast.
Search engine optimization, where
All right.
that's how Google's complex algorithms index you on the web.
Got you. Okay.
And there's a lot to that. And so I've been very successful in helping people to get higher in the index,
Okay.
higher in the rankings.
All right.
Through
So when you do a Google search for a specific thing, you're getting them to be one of the first couple that names will
correct.
pop up. Okay.
Yeah, and there's 3 major places you need to be. Top is Google Maps, your business Google profile,
Okay.
and then Google indexing, and they're all actually 3 separate components that you actually do separately. So
Okay, that's interesting.
So helping companies to build their brand, the website is the most important aspect of your web presence. It's the most
Sure.
versus Facebook versus other social media. The website is really the place that you assert and defend. You assert what you do and you defend it.
Right.
And there's a number of ways to assert and defend.
Okay.
To take your viewer out of a resistant state.
So touch on assert and defend. Just
Sure.
I'm not exactly sure I understand it, so let's make sure everybody else
Sure.
does.
So I assert on my website that my clients get real measurable results.
Okay.
The viewer's going to be like, okay, there's a million of you guys doing this. How?
Right.
I follow that with several pieces and then go to my video testimonials for my
Okay.
actual clients. So I go from I assert that my clients get good results to proving
To
it
proving it. Okay.
with videos.
Right.
And it's really powerful and it really
Okay.
works. And it shows the level of expertise that the Lord has given me.
Okay.
I operate through the Holy Spirit and from all the graphic design and everything I do. So mainly
So
helping.
not only do you get a great website and all this, but you're
Yeah.
getting God-inspired website.
God-inspired
Love it.
websites with custom graphic design.
Love it.
The copy that I write is very specific,
Okay.
and I do research before I write copy for a website, where I do research on what all the let's say your competitors would be. What words are they using? What keywords? What phrases they're using?
Okay.
As an example, if you owned a karate dojo,
Right.
I would research, karate, martial arts, let's say a Shinru karate, or what type of
Right.
karate you use, and then I would use other words around that,
Okay.
so I'm not using super saturated words.
Gotcha.
So that helps you to rise to the top above your competitors. It's one technique.
Okay.
that I do.
All right. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, and so it's taking me the last really 6 to 8 years to really perfect this, to really perfect the formula that really works.
Okay.
I did a bunch of years of what's called A/B testing. A/B testing is trying one thing, measuring the results, measuring how long someone stays on a particular page,
Okay.
how long they stay on the website,
Right.
what are they seeking, and
Okay.
do they convert or not? Meaning, do they convert from a viewer to a lead or a customer?
Right.
So in the last 6 years, I've really perfected that process, just trial and error, and it's really been successful.
That is pretty interesting. I mean, that's very cool.
Yeah.
So, I know we talked about this a little earlier. Give us a couple websites, because I want people to be able to see
Sure.
some of your work. So let's give them the website again, and then give a couple website that they can go and look at. A couple of the websites we talked about.
Sure. Well, that's a really easy question to answer, because on my website, if you visit it, perfectyoursuccess.com, there's a page called Portfolio. You can see the last 30 or 40 projects that I've done
Okay.
right there. Some of the really most amazing clients I've had recently is Dr. Mark Kaufman, and his website is drmarkkaufman.org. Also, I've done some extensive work for Dr. Ed Turos, so I've built edturos.com, as well as it's called FocusLifeInstitute.com, which is also the company that Dr. Turos owns. Among a lot of other churches, in the last year and a half, it's been mostly ministries I've helped and worked for. And even overseas, I've got a project I'm working on right now for an orphanage in Kenya.
So you're doing a website for an orphanage in Kenya. How many orphanages have websites?
Not many.
Wow. Okay.
This is part of a
Touch
ministry.
on that for just a minute, if
Sure.
you would. That just seems interesting that you have a website for an orphanage in Kenya.
Yeah. So through another ministry out of the state of Michigan, they're building an orphanage building from scratch in Kenya, and so we needed a website to talk about all the children, all the orphans, what their backgrounds are, what their ages are, what their interests are. And then we're doing a fundraising campaign. I'm assisting them with a fundraising campaign that's been very successful so far in raising money to complete the building of the structure for these children.
That's awesome.
It's all kingdom, it's all Christian, and super exciting to be working in Africa, South Africa.
That is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So we got the orphanage, you're doing the website, you do your 9 steps. So what else does Rich Wurzbacher do, or what else is God calling Rich Wurzbacher to do?
There's some other projects that I've been called to, and waiting on instruction for those. Mainly right now, my main assignment right now is to serve my clients all over the world in helping them to build their brand and make things successful for the kingdom.
So just to clarify for everyone, this is not just, we come in, I pay you a fee, you do a website, and then you disappear, you're gone.
Not at all.
I mean, there's service after the sale.
Sure.
You're here. I mean, you were just talking to Ricky in our office and said, hey, if you need me, I'm here. Call me, email, text, whatever, you got a question.
Yeah. So my clients don't just go away when I'm finished with a website or a project. I stay with them. And in 99% of the cases, I don't charge any client any maintenance fees. I maintain their site. I keep the 3 main components up and up in the latest versions. I'll do basic content editing for them at no charge. That's a pretty good added value. A lot of my competitors charge monthly fees.
Right. Seems normal.
I don't do that. In certain cases, maybe a pet store that changes pets out regularly, that's a different story.
Well, more labor intensive.
More labor intensive.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But I try to bring the most value I can and always under promise and over deliver. And so I've got clients from construction to pastors to doctors, chiropractors, construction agent companies. So I serve a wide variety of businesses. And that's very easy to do.
Right.
So each project is about average 4 to 6 weeks to do a build, to write copy, do custom graphic design.
All right.
And I love doing it. I just love doing it. I love serving my customers. And mainly what I love doing is watching the results afterwards, where they actually succeed and it's actually
the sales
working.
are generating and the customers are coming in. I'm sure that's got to bring a lot of satisfaction.
Sure.
Absolutely. So I know you're married. We met Heidi, obviously. I did ask Heidi to come. She said this is not really her thing, but she'd have been wonderful to have here. So what do you see in the immediate near future for you? I know you've got some other things, and I know you talk about the university and doing stuff like that, but as far as maybe even outside of this, what this little package is right now, is there something else that you guys there's something else that God is leading you towards to expand the business, or maybe even a different venue, different avenues, or anything new?
Sure. Well, God is leading me into another sector in the energy business, in converting waste to energy. And so I can take everything I do and know from Perfecture Success and make that apply to the energy sector.
Right.
And there's a lot of waste problems in the world, as everybody knows.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be doing a waste energy project we're very excited about.
That's cool.
But we're still going to continue to do Perfecture Success on a full-time basis. And serve our clients and continue to grow that as well. So, and any other way that we can serve through Jubilee, there's a tremendous amount of areas that we can serve.
Always.
from the Now
Always.
Project, which is the food distribution,
Right.
to many other places in Jubilee. It's tremendous. It's a tremendous opportunity to just give and serve, and that's what I love doing. My wife loves doing that, and so that was one of the big factors too in moving here, was having an opportunity. We'd been in other churches in the past, and it just didn't seem like there was a whole lot of opportunity to like really serve and really use our full capacity.
Right.
And this Jubilee is just offers that amazing, so many avenues. My wife's now involved in various functions of the church that she's never been able to do, and is really excited, from doing master seamstress work
Right.
for the church,
Right.
to working with Deaconess Terrazas, Deaconess Jen in the kitchen, cooking, preparing gourmet meals.
Right.
Like the man caves coming up tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
6:30.
So, so she's been more fulfilled since we've been here than I've seen her in many
Coming
years.
out of her shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Remember the first time we met you guys. Heidi's very, very quiet, very, very withdrawn.
She is.
It's like me. I'm a high I personality. I've never met a stranger. I'm always kind of the guy out there talking
Sure,
to people.
sure.
It's kind of like what you are, and my wife's kind of the reserved, quiet one. She'll
Right.
just kind of stay back and wait. And so, yeah. So I can see that. Well, that's good. I can share in this because my wife and I, we came up to Jubilee. We visited almost 22 years ago. We came to one service, and we drove 100 miles one way,
Wow.
back and forth. Ronnie, our behind-the-scenes director, knows where I'm from. I'm from Washington, PA. And so we would actually drive, at that time we were living in Claysville, we would drive 100 miles
My
from
gosh.
doorstep to doorstep. And I began to do that 2 or 3 times a week. And then Dr. Kaufman's like, are you going to move up here? And we're like, well, we weren't planning on it. And then we end up in 2005 moving up here.
Sure.
Because
Sure.
we came, we found a ministry that we had never experienced before. It was just, there was so much balance in it.
Sure.
The Word of God that's being ministered is incredible.
Oh,
the praise
my
and
gosh.
worship is incredible. And so I can relate. You come here and you find it's home.
We came in on that New Year's Eve 5 years ago and said, this is home. We have to come here. There's nothing else like
And our
Jubilee.
New Year's Eve
There
services
is.
are pretty intense. So
Yeah.
they're,
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
They are, but the level of, if I may say so, Jubilee is. I've never felt the love of a body of Christ like we do here, and this doesn't speak negatively over any other ministry.
Right.
But man, it is just. We walked in the first time, and we were so welcomed and loved by everybody. We're like, we need this. We have to have this. So. It's been amazing. It's been an amazing journey where I can bring my businesses here, serve the ministry, serve my clients, and there's a lot of big things in store, a lot of big things coming. We're super excited about, and we're honored to be here. And God just made the move so simple. It was just a convergence that was just instant, step by step. House
Right.
is sold. We move.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The doors fly open.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. When the doors flying open, it's like God kicks that door wide open for you.
Yeah.
And you know that God is saying, okay, this is where you're going to go. This is the way, walk ye in it. Right? So, and I'm not even sure how much more time we have. I'm just waiting for a little signal from Ronnie since I've not done this before. But so we'll start wrapping this up a little bit. But give us the websites one more time.
Sure.
I really want, and I know we'd like to promote local businesses and so forth.
Sure.
And so Rich being a local business, I know we've done Dr. Mark Kaufman, Dr. Ed Turos is on there. We've got some other people we're going to be bringing on.
Right.
But just make sure, give them the websites again just one more time so they can hear those. So you guys
Sure.
can go and check those out, see what Rich is doing, what he has done. And hey, if this is something that would be valuable for you, reach out to Rich. Say, hey, you know what? Let's talk about, what you offer and see if it can benefit us.
Yeah, you can certainly reach me through my website, www.perfectyoursuccess.com. And on there, clearly talks about all the business that parts of the business that I run and do and offer. And there's a portfolio page there that you can see every project I've done in the last 2 years, including drmarkkaufman.org. That's drmarkkaufman.org. edturos.com. FocusLifeInstitute.com, which is an amazing site for the products that Dr. Turos offers
Right.
in the educational field. And so you can see all those there, and love to have a free consultation, free strategy session with you. See what I can do to help you out. My team can do to help you out, and we'd be excited to talk to you.
Okay. Well, Rich, thank you. It's been an honor to have you on
Thank you.
here.
Been an honor as well.
A lot of information, so you may have to go back and watch this again. I mean, there's 9 steps. There's a lot of information in those 9 steps. There's going to be a lot of subcategories in each one of those 9 topics
Right,
that you
there is, and there's a
that you work
page.
in.
There's a full page for each one of those.
Okay.
As an example, search engine optimization, which we call SEO, is a
See, my line of work, that's sewer enforcement officer. I know the SEO is the sewer enforcement officer. That's why I asked you to clarify.
Yes, SEO, search engine optimization.
Okay.
I'm certified in it through the global certification through Yoast. That's the global standard. And
Okay.
just that component alone, as an example, is super vital.
Right.
Where SEO is complex, where it's not just you do a couple things.
Right.
But each page is optimized individually.
Okay.
And
Now, what do you mean each page?
so if you have a 7-page website, let's say,
Okay.
your home page, the
Right.
About Us,
Okay.
our services
So then
page,
each one of those is
are done,
optimized.
optimized and done individually,
Okay.
as well as graphic optimization, page load speeds. The optimal speed, you want your site to load in 2 seconds or less.
Right.
My website loads in 600 milliseconds.
Yeah, because let's be honest. This is a microwave society. We
Right.
want everything right now.
Yes.
If you click on a website and it takes more than 7 or 8 seconds to
You're
load,
gone.
you're moving on to the next one.
You're gone.
Because you're thinking, well, there's something wrong with it. You're going to go to the next one.
Right.
So, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, pretty much everybody online has ADD. If you don't get it really, really fast,
Move on.
you're out.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I do that's really important. That page load speed, the optimization of the copy, the graphics, there's a lot to each of those 9 pieces. But I bring
I'm
them all
sure.
together and make them work together. And so, along with that, I combine four types of marketing:
Okay.
online, offline, direct, and indirect. Those are 4 component areas.
All right.
And so through these 9 things, I make all of those direct, indirect, online, and offline work together in unison to
Okay.
create you the very best results you can get.
Right. Well, that's awesome. I know we were going to wrap up, and then that actually was a great segue into more information. So, but I promise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. As Dr. Kaufman would say, that was my first closing. This is the next one. So, but
Right.
hey, I just want to thank everyone. It was an honor for me to be here. This is my first time actually hosting, because Ricky's usually doing this, and he usually does a great job at it. So I'm sure I'll be back here, because he's going to tell me that, hey, why don't you go ahead and do it again? So he'll give it to me again. But it was great to be here. I want to thank Ronnie. Ronnie's phenomenal he's behind the scenes directing and doing all this for us, and it's a great opportunity. Rich, thank you again so
Thank
much
you,
for
sir.
coming out.
Honor.
So much information. Make sure you go out. Check out the websites. Check out his website. Check out the ones he's done. Make sure you look at it. If you've got questions, reach out to him. He's available. Answer all your questions. So I just want to thank everyone for joining us tonight. Make sure you come back next Thursday at 6:30, same time. See, I'm a little older school. It used to be same bat time, same bat channel. Right.
Right.
So we're going to be here same time next week on Thursday. Please make sure you come out and see us at Kingdom Business Talk. Thank you and have a great evening.